Hi, I'm Kim Baldwin, and I am a marine biologist by trade, but I'm actually a drone mapping instructor. I teach people in the environmental field how to use drone technology and geospatial analysis app, AI tools, machine learning, how to use these tech tools to map and monitor the environment.
What inspired you to get into this field?
It's actually a really long story. Where I began, actually, I just grew up here in San Diego, California, and I just loved the outdoors. I loved the beach. I loved diving. I grew up going to the Colorado River and just really loved being outside. I was always really fascinated by science and technology. And I went to UCSB. That's where I went to college. Was I got really into field research. I just really liked ecology, biology, and doing field research. And that sort of started my journey into the environmental management field. And I changed my degree at the last minute at UCSB and switched to marine biology and really didn't have any idea of what I was going to do, except for I decided that I wanted to maybe work at a national park or work outside. I had the whole bio background degree and I decided I didn't want to be a doctor. So one thing led to the next. I went and got dive certified. I became a lifeguard and I started applying for internships to work somewhere outside of the US doing something dive related. I got lucky and I got a job working for Boston University and got hired to work in the Turks and Caicos Islands doing dive research for a year, working as a teaching assistant, teaching and training college students how to do underwater marine biology diving surveys. So that's where I got my start. And so that progressed over the years. I went to the University of the West Indies in Barbados and got a master's degree in fisheries management and marine biology and environmental management and worked for a while doing, again, mapping surveys. But that's where I got into GIS, which is Geographical Information System. So besides doing the underwater monitoring, I realized having this technology to map the reefs and map the changes over time was really important. So then I did that for a few years and I was really into that and diving. I was in the water every day doing field research, but integrating it with this mapping software. And I got very excited about the mapping software. I taught myself GIS. And then over the years, that became my big specialty. I got my PhD in marine GIS and marine mapping. And then in 2015, drones came on the scene. And at that point in time, we were using Google Earth, we were using satellite imagery or pictures I could get from planes to map the environment, but they were never good. They were either blurry or there was cloud cover or we couldn't afford them. So in 2015, when drones came out and you could buy a $1,500 Phantom and attach a GoPro camera on the bottom of it and get your own pictures, I was like, this is really interesting. I've got to learn this. So I actually went out and I got my first drone with my little brothers who are both photographers. We all got them the same year in 2015. And I taught myself how to fly drones. I was never a gamer. I was never into any of that type of thing. And I self-taught myself how to use drones. I actually had quite a few hardships happen. And I definitely learned the hard way. Back then, there wasn't YouTube that told you everything and you couldn't look up how to do it. So I really learned by trial and error. And one thing led to the next. And now people know me as the drone mapper. They forget I'm a marine biologist. I teach all different types of people how to use drone technology for environmental mapping, monitoring, as well as capturing photos, videos, and content creation.
What is one thing you hope your students can take away from your course?
Ah, there's a lot of things I hope they take away from their course. But the one thing I hope is that they feel confident. They feel that they know not only how to fly a drone safely and commercially as a professional pilot, but they know the various ways and applications that drone technology can be used. I train my students, obviously, how to fly, but how to conduct flight surveys so they can know when and what are the applications, when to do different types of flight surveys. I also teach them because social media and environmental education is so important in terms of environmental management. I teach them how to easily and effectively capture drone footage to make them look like a professional. I'm all about drone hacks and keeping it simple. So I really teach people the mechanics of drones, the industries, the various applications, but also photography and videography so that they can engage people in environmental management and storytelling.
Who would you say this course is best suited for?
My main audience, as I mentioned, is environmental managers, people that are interested in using drones to map and monitor the environment. That being said, my ideal student, though, is any person that is interested in professional drone work, whether it is for mapping or monitoring or photography or videography. I really cater to commercial operations, which are professional drone piloting, so that I can set my students on a level higher than the average recreational flyer, that they are educated not only about the drones, the technology, the app, as well as the various applications that these tools can be used.
What do you enjoy most about teaching this topic?
What I enjoy most about teaching this topic is to see my students go from zero to hero, from them going from knowing nothing about drones, never flown, never done an app, and feeling confident and feeling like they know more at the end of this class than people that have been flying drones for years. What I love is to see the empowerment that people have, especially the adults that I'm teaching, that are very nervous maybe about technology and apps and AI, machine learning. And at the end of this, they're professional. They know more than their teenage kids about these types of tools. And that's what I love, is empowering people and showing people technology is not anything to be scared of. It's actually really easy to use, and it can make your job much more efficient and effective, but also allow you to collect a lot more accurate data in a lot shorter time.
What is one piece of advice you would give someone just starting out in this subject?
Probably the biggest piece of advice that I give to all beginners is take time to learn how to use a drone before you fly. Take time to learn about the automated safety settings that can be set up within your drone and help you fly a bit safer, right? To learn and to get how to get a commercial license or a recreational drone license, to learn the rules. I think for me, the biggest why I got into teaching was that when I first started, people just give you a drone. Nobody takes the time to show you the drone setting. And so people crash their drone. They lose their drone. Everybody knows the story of their friend that got a drone and the first day it flew away or it crashed. You hear these dramatic stories. And it makes me just shake my head, because really, to learn how to fly a drone safely, I do it with people in 90 minutes where they know the basics and at least they know they're confident enough. Yes, you still need something called stick time, just like you learn to drive your car and you might have your learner's permit, but you need to put in the hours. So I give people a great foundation so that they have that confidence. And so taking the time to learn the safety settings, to learn the laws and the regulations within your territory is absolutely essential when you're first learning drones.